Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, the one and only Hosting Cruz, bringing you another exciting edition of boxing. Don't forget to hit and to like, subscribe to my channel. It's always greatly appreciated. Stay tuned. Miracle Boy Boxing. I am your host, Hosting Cruz, and guys, ladies and gentlemen, I am back after a few days off from coming back from one of the most interesting and bizarre events in boxing history, guys. Let me talk to you guys about it as I was there live in person. The atmosphere was tremendous. 18,000 strong in attendance. Sold out crowd in San Juan, Puerto Rico at the Coliseo Jose Miguel Agrelot. Live on the Zone, MVP Promotions. Not the best card that you'll see, but had some pretty decent fights. Christoph Rosado versus Munguia. That was the first fight on the main card. That was a tremendous fight to kick things off. But before that, had some preliminary bouts, pre-show fights. Christopher Pitufo Diaz, 3-time world title challenger, came back after almost a 2-year layoff. Fighting a guy like Bob Marley. I understand that Pitufo ain't fought in 2 years or almost that, and he wants to get some ring rust off. So as a promoter and matchmaker, you give him a little bit of a soft touch, but this was too much. This was ridiculous. This was softer than a soft touch. I don't know if you could get any softer than a soft touch, but this was horrible. Pitufo looked sensational, of course, with a knockout performance. But the opposition that they gave him, man. Heatley Scott. Tremendous entrance, by the way. He made me feel like I was about to watch Wilfredo Gomez versus Asuma Nelson 2. I was I was going to the beat of the song. I was enjoying his entrance. But when that bell rung, I was like, what the hell am I watching? That was one of the worst fights I've seen. And one of the worst boxers to step in the ring. And the thing is, he came in with an 18-1 record with 12 KOs. So, who the hell has he beat and KO'd? Because to have 18 fights and 12 knockouts, you have to have some type of punch. When that bell rung, he didn't know how to throw a jab, a right cross, a left hook, combos. He was it's like most value promotions picked him up from the street in San Juan somewhere, created his record, and threw him in there with Pitufo. Pitufo, this is who you're going to fight. That was crazy. That was the most embarrassing thing that I've ever witnessed. I had to cover my face for a second. But that's that with that fight. At the end of the day, Pitufo is back. He did what he's supposed to do, what he needed to do. He picked up the WBA interim title at 126 pounds. And he looked to target Lamont Roach in his next fight, which should be a good fight and a real fight. Next was on that card, Jovan Walton. Juana Walton, very hyped guy, very hyped kid, 17-year-old prodigy for Jake Paul. If you look at his videos on Instagram, very talented kid, can do almost anything, man. But when that bell rung, I don't know if it was the nerves or whatever, but he did not perform the way we all anticipated. He went to a decision. He got a draw, but it was not a sensational performance. Maybe it was the nerves. He's 17 years old. Maybe the brights were too light, and he could not pull the trigger the way he wanted. But he got a draw, and hopefully he'll learn from this and come back better. The fight that was built pretty well and had pretty good hype to it, and actually was the best fight on the card and on paper. Jonathan La Bomba Gonzalez defending his title for the third time against Rene El Chulo Santiago. A battle of two Puerto Ricans, a battle of Boricuas, at 108, and that was a pretty good fight. It lived up to the hype. A lot of exchanges, good back and forth. Rene held a little too much for me, but Bomba, boxed well. Both guys landed good counters and exchanges. Bomba pressed the fight throughout the whole fight, the majority of the fight. He showed that he wanted it more than Rene. He closed stronger, and he's the champion. You gotta beat the holy hell out of the champion to take that belt. And I felt Rene could have done more. So the decision was good. A lot of people, a good bit of people were saying that Bomba lost the fight. I don't think so. Bomba was the aggressor all night, landed more punches, and showed that he wanted it more. And that's that. Bomba retained for the third time. Continues his tremendous championship reign so far, and on to better and bigger things. Rene will go back to the drawing board, and I'm sure he'll be back. He's a very good fighter. Next, the co-main event. Well, the main event. Actually, it turned out to be the main event. Jake Paul versus the Rhino, Ryan Borland. And first round KO. Regardless of how you want to put it, who Jake Paul fought or whatever. You want to call him a trash can, a tomato can, a bum, a taxi driver, a guy at the groceries working behind the register, whatever. Mailman. Jake Paul looked sharp as ever. His best performance. He said he was going to get him out of there in round 2. It was not going to last. It was going to last only. It was not going to go past 2 rounds. He did it in 1. This was a guy that with 17 wins, 2 losses, 9 KOs coming in. Triple the fights that Jake Paul has. And Jake Paul destroyed him. Looked sharp. So, and what an entrance. You got reggaeton artist Arcangel coming out. That was a surprise. No one expected Arcangel to come out and be a part of Jake Paul's entrance. So, El Gallo de Dorado turned in the first round KO in brutal fashion. And that was the card. The main event, the real main event, was canceled. But that I'm going to talk about that in a separate video, because I really want to get into that video. I really want to get into that topic and have it have a video of it for itself, because I really want to dive deep into it. This was just about the card, and because the fight was canceled, I'm not going to talk about it like if it was like if it went on and it was no longer part of the card. So yeah, Miracle Boy Boxing, guys. I am your host and crew. Don't forget to like, subscribe to my channel, guys. And it's always a pleasure to talk to you guys about boxing right here. And I'll see you guys on my next video. Peace.